Back, it's Weekend AM, and it is Saturday the 29th of September.
Now, Laura is out and about again today. What's going on there, Laura?
Well, Anna, preparations are well underway here at the RDS. Doors open at 11 o'clock this morning, and we're here at Timeless, the Irish Antique Dealers Fair. It takes place today and tomorrow until 7 o'clock this evening. I'm joined now by two of the exhibitors. We've got Paul Burton and Robert Collins. Good morning to you, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Lovely to chat to you this morning, and very much looking forward to this segment for obvious reasons. Tell you in a few minutes. Paul, you are multi-jobbing today. Not only are you showcasing some wonderful watches, but you're also the president of the Irish Antique Dealers Association.
Indeed.
Busy time for you.
Yeah, definitely a busy time.
Yeah.
We're trying to challenge people's perceptions of what antiques are, how you can use them in a modern setting. You don't have to have everything antique in your house. You can put some old pieces in and mix them through with modern pieces.
I've noticed, having covered this event over the last number of years, that there are so many young people coming in through the doors. So it's absolutely not a generational thing. Everyone loves a few antiques, and it's actually a feast for the eyes here.
Absolutely. You got to see things from the 20s, the 40s, the 50s, Victorian, Georgian, everything that you could possibly want.
Now, Brereton is synonymous with wonderful jewellery in this country, and you've segued into watches, a booming market at the moment. You've some beautiful exhibitions here today. Yeah. Tell us about these three watches, and we'll start with this fabulous one first.
This one here is the Tag Heuer Monaco. It was made originally in 1965, named after the Monaco Grand Prix, and it became very famous because Steve McQueen wore it, this style watch, in the Le Mans movie in the 60s. And so it's this one here with the blue dial is known as the Steve McQueen Monaco.
So it was probably very futuristic at the time.
Yeah, it was the first square automatic wristwatch ever made.
Really?
Yeah, well, yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
And of course, Steve McQueen making it uber cool at the time. How much are we talking about?
€2,950.
Okay, so a beautiful watch that I presume still works.
Yeah, absolutely in perfect condition, yeah.
Now, this is the watch I absolutely love, and you have the case closed to add to the suspense.
Yeah.
Tell us about this watch.
So this one here is a limited edition Omega Seamaster that was made for the 24th Bond movie, Spectre. There was only 7,007 of them made, and there's a huge demand for the brand. It's got all the things that you need in collectible watches, where it's a very good quality brand, but also got a tie-in with the Bond movies. So it's hugely sought after in the market, and it's only 7,000 of them.
So 7,007, 007.
Absolutely.
And how much are these for?
So that is €9,500.
9,000. And yet there'd be people willing to pay for this type of watch because they feel it's going to last them forever.
Absolutely. It's just the value in it is there with the dual branding between Bond and Omega. And
for something uber modern to something very retro, I suppose it has a flashback to the Mad Men era, postmodern era, 60s vibe. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, so I brought this one along because it's a little bit more of a collector's item for the real collector out there. This looks classic. This kind of watch sells for me all the time. Very like Mad Men movies or series. It's got a really rare case movement inside. Only 3,000 were ever made, so while it looks simple, it's actually a really, really rare watch. So it's good to have it.
It's in incredibly good condition. People really mind their watches.
Well, no, you have to look through about, I look at maybe 100 watches before I buy one. Okay. There's a lot of ones that have had a hard life. Yeah. So you have to be very, very selective, and that's what I'm offering is finding watches that are of that quality. And
people, of course, are able to come and see all of your watches here today, or many of your collection today, and they're available for purchase too, like everything here?
Absolutely.
Yeah? So you're telling people to come on down and bring their wallets?
Absolutely, yeah, bring everything with you.
Thanks so much, Paul. Lovely chatting to you this morning. Over here to our old friend, Robert. Robert, we were chatting to you over the last couple of years here. Good morning. You have a little friend with you here.
I do. I have Shep with me. Shep is a sheepdog that was a sheepdog. Well, he still is. He was fondly remembered by his owner, a farmer, who didn't want to let him go. Okay. He had him stuffed and was able to enjoy him then for the rest of his years.
Well, listen, we're talking about taxidermy here now, and you're from the Story Yard, and you've noticed a huge interest in the last couple of years, in the last few years, in taxidermy. We'll start off straight up by saying some people are absolutely appalled, repulsed and horrified by taxidermy, and then there are some who aren't, and I'm one of them who's not. I can understand why, if you had a pet that you were mad about and you would be completely bereft if they were gone, that you'd want to keep them with you.
True, yes, but I suppose probably in a larger scale while people are buying them for, say, decorative pieces, you know. Interior designers have made them fashionable again, set decorators in movies. We do a lot of movie horror that, hence, you know, say The Swan. Horror films that, again, would bring in a lot of the old Victorian taxidermy.
Well, that's where your swan comes in,
that's
Robert.
Where the swan comes in. The swan, of course, he was handed into Galway Swan Rescue, and he was taxidermied by an amateur taxidermist.
So he was handed in, God love him, and he'd hurt himself. He didn't. He passed on.
He did indeed, yeah. But he was lovingly, I suppose, taxidermied by an amateur taxidermist. Okay. So he's a nice example of a taxidermy, not in 100% condition, hence the amateur taxidermist. But look, he still is a lovely piece.
But Robert, people also would say that the big advocates of taxidermy would be saying this is an incredible way to teach children, future generations, about our wildlife, our species.
It is, yes. No, recently actually in the shop we had a young guy in, 8 years old, in with his gran and his two brothers, and we had a pigeon which looked like, I suppose, the passenger pigeon from America who are extinct, and he was able to tell me that there was 5 billion of them in America, and the last one was shot as 1901.
Oh my
you know, so the knowledge is there. The young people are fascinated with it. Yeah. They come into the shop, they're absolutely in awe of everything we have, from vertebrae of whales to a sperm whale jawbone, full-size lioness, you know, so it's totally, you know, like a mini natural history museum.
Where did taxidermy originate? I mean, we're talking hundreds of years ago.
There's evidence of it back to 1600s of that, but I suppose really and truly it came into its own in the Victorian era, you know, hugely. And then even Queen Victoria herself was a huge collector of taxidermied birds. So again, it's enjoying a great revival now from interior designers, decorators, you know.
And obviously there's an art to it, Robert. And
there is, yeah. And I suppose it is. And being honest with you, the key to taxidermy and anyone looking for taxidermy is condition. Condition is paramount, you know.
Course,
and good taxidermist names. Williams and Son, anything Williams and Son, Dublin, great name. And Gerard then of London, you know, two of the top makers.
We have
a couple of ducks here. Your common or gardener duck, and but again, quite nicely stuffed and in great condition. Okay. Great condition.
Well,
yeah.
It's been fascinating chatting to you this morning,
thank
Robert.
You.
Thank you so much, and thanks also to our other guest, Paul Burton, with those wonderful watches. We're going to take a short break now. Back in studio afterwards for fashion. See you soon.